Snipers, you have to see what's happening in the Bitcoin price right now, as this is our first video of 2023. Happy New Year's to each and every one of you, snipers. Guess what? I am at a brand new home now, finally done moving in, and my studio is being set up right now. So I'm gonna have some fire content for you guys here very soon, maybe even a house tour here as we get things set up. But snipers, there's a lot to talk about today. Stay tuned and smash the like button for this amazing update, because we're going to look at Bitcoin, but let's just look at Bitcoin at the start of every bull cycle. On January 1st, what could we expect? Well, in 2012, you can see January started off with a sell-off. In 2015, we consolidated for a few months at the start of January. In 2018, January was the start of a great run for Bitcoin. And now we have 2023 and over 78% correction over last year for Bitcoin, experiencing a 78% decline in price. What does that mean for 2023? If 2022 was so bad for Bitcoin, well, there are some very important levels to watch and some fundamentals that we want to keep in mind, snipers. I'm going to go inside, or actually I might stay outside. The weather is a little bit nice here in LA, but check this out, snipers. The US dollar index may have had a strong year, but it ended the year on a 6-month low, down 10% from its November high. This weakness will likely continue in 2023, with the dollar having one of its worst years ever. If I'm right, the inflation problem is about to get much worse. Chinese stocks off to a solid start in 2023. The Hang Seng Index has made a big move above its 200-day moving average. You can see in the past when the Chinese stock market has moved above its 200-day moving average like it has already for the start of this year, it's actually led to some very positive price action over the elapsing period of time from there. And so does that mean that this is a start of a brand new year? We're going to be seeing the markets maybe do the opposite of what they did last year. Not necessarily, not with the Feds and their minutes coming out saying that they expect to potentially continue to increase interest rates this year, and they certainly don't expect to be lowering them this year. And that, of course, has worried some investors. But we know the Fed's plot line. We know what we're expecting here over the next few years with the Feds. What really matters is, has the markets priced in this news? Well, Bitcoin, not much has changed, sniper, since the last time we put out a video last year. And what you'll notice here is Bitcoin has been consolidating. Now, what are some key snipers levels that we want to keep in mind right now for the immediate short term? 16,832, the previous weekly open, currently is the major support. If we stay above that, what we need to do is get above 17,204. Now remember, snipers, there are ranges that we play in. Right now, Bitcoin is playing inside of the range of 17,204 and 13,970. If Bitcoin is not able to reclaim 17,204, the likelihood that we could visit the $13,970 area is extremely high. We have to get above 17,204 to expect any upside in the Bitcoin price. 17,204 is the major level, snipers. If we get above 17,204, guess what? That opens up the door to a lot of upside, all the way up to potentially even 24,000 US dollars. All that would come with Bitcoin breaking above 17,204 with decisive hourly and 4-hour candles. Those are what we're looking for, because if we can get a break above 17,204, the likelihood that we can continue to see price action bring Bitcoin towards 24,000 US dollars becomes probable. So that's what we're watching there for Bitcoin. And sorry, I do have some construction going on. I'm going to be doing a house tour here very soon, but I'm getting this door fixed right now. I just want to give you guys a little sneak peek. Thank you so much of what we have going on. You can see we've got some studio gear here, and sooner than later, we're going to have all this set up, and I'm going to have some fire content out for you guys. But let me find a place where there isn't much noise. Maybe if I sit on the front patio, then there's a lot less noise. Okay, there you go. Man, I apologize for not having a video out towards the end of this year, snipers. I didn't mean to abandon you guys, but I was moving, so it was quite the journey. I'm just gonna chill here for a little bit. I hope you guys don't mind. So let's look at some further chart, snipers. So the DXY, yeah, as much as it had such a good year last year, the last 6 months of 2022 was very bad for the US dollar. And what's interesting about the US dollar is, remember, we're below the 20-week moving average, which means it doesn't necessarily mean the US dollar is still in a bull market. That doesn't put this off the table of the DXY forming a higher high or lower high. But just remember this, snipers. This yellow line here, the 20-week moving average, the bull market support band for any asset, when we finally break below it after a bullish rally, like what happened to Bitcoin, what typically happens? What you'll notice here is what happens when you break below the 20-week moving average, like Bitcoin did it in May of 2021, it slows down the momentum of that asset. And yes, you could form a higher high, a lower high, but for the most part, you've already topped out after coming below that 20-week moving average. So could we make the case coming into 2023 that the DXY may have already topped out? We may not see the DXY move up any further than it already has. We may see a lower high, a higher high, but that doesn't mean we're going to be entering into a new trading range for the DXY. It could have potentially topped out, being the fact that it's below the 20-week moving average. Now, does that mean Bitcoin doesn't have to bottom out? Shout out to Brian Decker. You are the fucking man, bro. You posted something really good about what your predictions are for Bitcoin today. And I wanted to just kind of give you guys a little bit of idea of what he said. He said that in the next 36 months is the next Bitcoin halving, something like that. Don't quote me on the exact time, but Bitcoin typically bottoms out after the Bitcoin halving. And so could there potentially be another capitulation, a sell-off in the near future? That could certainly be true, but that doesn't have to happen now. Bitcoin can move to 36,000 US dollars, and then later down the road, and that could be an elongated bear cycle, we could see another low form, and that could be when the DXY forms a higher high or lower high. We'll see Bitcoin bottom out finally. Who knows? All of these things are on the table. What matters is the important snipers levels. And so we'll know what's going to happen to Bitcoin based on whether or not we can get above 17,204. I'm not going to go into the weekly and monthly candles or even the yearly candle because there's really not much to talk about. Over the last few months, Bitcoin has consolidated. We could go into the 12-month chart, talk about, you know, how Bitcoin closed off for the year. You can see this bearish engulfing candle. But there's not much we're going to get out of that. I'd rather be on a computer to do that type of technical analysis. But Bitcoin obviously consolidating. DXY potentially could have topped out. That's important to know, snipers. And then realize this, the S&P 500, it's not staying too far below its 20-week moving average right now, and it has been above it. Could this be the early signs of a reversal here for the S&P 500? Well, what we need to monitor is that 20-week moving average, where we're currently sitting at that 20-week moving average, having a cup of coffee there. So it is safe to say the markets are on pause right now. I mean, I hadn't posted a video in 2 weeks, and Bitcoin is literally at the same price. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us the momentum has slowed down. These bear markets and these bleed outs typically take a while. They're a lot longer than these bull cycles, right? They take a lot longer. And so you can see several monthly candles close within the same trading range in a bear market. And that's a very strong consolidation range that the asset is in. Bitcoin did this in 2018. It did it in 2019. There's been many instances that this has happened. And so what we're watching for Bitcoin is very simple. If we can't maintain 17,204, which we're not right now, then we know there's more downside left to 13,970 at any point in time. If we can get above 17,204, we'll talk about upside targets up to 24,000 US dollars. So simple case there for Bitcoin. And I am all over the place. Once again, I just moved into the new home, snipers. So give me some time to get some content out to you. Gold starting off the year strong. We'll continue to monitor gold. The NASDAQ not looking so well. Looks like it's revisiting some of these support levels that could potentially lead to further downside here for the tech sector. We'll have to continue to monitor that. Total market cap would be interesting to look at. What was very, very interesting to me is that we never really breached below the 2018 all-time high here for the total market cap. Unlike Bitcoin right now, below the 2018 all-time high. Notice how we've maintained this for the overall cryptocurrency market. So, you know, previous resistance is typically support, and that is acting true right now for the total market cap. And once again, China doing well coming into this year. So much drama finally behind us from 2022. Bitcoin down over 75% from last year. What does that mean for this year? We're going to find out very soon, snipers. And I will have some new content out on this channel, as I've been saying over the last few weeks. I just finally had to move out and move into this new home, and I am finally settling in. And that means that once our studio is up, we'll have some content out for you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuned into the channel, snipers. I couldn't do this without you. Shout out to each and every one of you guys on the Discord as well, keeping the community active. Happy New Year, snipers. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I bumped my head moving. this is only one. There's another one under my hair, and man, it's been quite the journey here. But finally getting it completed here. So more content coming soon. Until next time, snipers, I'm out. Snipers out.